Hello students, it is class 10 and today just we have to discuss about acid, base and salt chapter in chemistry. Okay, so first lesson was chemical reaction, just we have completed, and now just we will discuss about acid, base and salt, which is your second chapter in chemistry. Okay, first of all just we will define acid. Okay, what are acids? Listen, there are many definitions which are used by the person to define acids, in which some just we will discuss. First, those substances which are sour in taste are called acids. Second, those substances which liberate hydrogen ion in their aqueous solution are also called acid. Third, those substances which neutralize the effect of bases are called acids. Next, those substances which turns blue litmus paper into red are also called acids. So these are the different types of definitions which are used by the person to define acid. Okay. Now we will see acids are of two types, in which one is called organic acid and second is called mineral acid. Mineral acid is also known as inorganic acid. Okay, whereas organic acid is also known as naturally occurring acids. Okay, once again, what are the different types of acids? Acids are of two types, in which one is called organic acid and second is called inorganic acid or mineral acid. Just I am going to write here. Okay, types of acid. Okay, so it is of two types, in which one is called organic acid and number two inorganic acid. Okay, organic acid and inorganic acid, and this inorganic acid is also known as mineral acid. Okay, whereas organic acid is also known as naturally occurring acid. Okay, or natural occurring acid we can write. Okay, so we are seeing here acids are of two types, one is called organic acid and second is called inorganic acid. Now we will define what is organic acid and what is mineral acid. Listen, those acids which are obtained from the plant or animal are called organic acid, because just we are defining the acid on the basis of we are defining the organic acid and inorganic acid on the basis of source. Means we can say acids are of two types on the basis of source. Okay, in which one is called organic acid and second is called inorganic acid. So what are organic acids? Those acids which are obtained from plant or animal are called organic acid. For example, oxalic acid, tartaric acid, formic acid, lactic acid, etc. etc. Just we will see about some plants or animals in which different types of acids are present. For example, oxalic acid. Oxalic acid is present in tomato, whereas tartaric acid is present in tamarinds and grapes. Formic acid is present in little plant and in the sting of red ant. Okay, why formic acid is called formic acid? You know, because formic acid was first discovered in the red ant, and you know the Latin name of red ant is formica. So since this acid is was discovered first of all in formica, so it is called formic acid. So we are saying here that formic acid, why called formic acid? Okay, after that lactic acid is present in curd, tannic acid is present in tea leaf. Okay, so in this way we are seeing here these acids are obtained from plants or animals. So since these acids are obtained from plant or animals, so they are called organic acid. Now we will define inorganic acid or mineral acid. Those acids which are prepared from the minerals present in the earth crust are called mineral acids or inorganic acids. For example of hydrochloric acid, nitric acid, sulfuric acid, all are the example of inorganic acid. Just I have said here hydrochloric acid. You should know hydrochloric acid is the exception. Hydrochloric acid is the exception. Why? Because its source is the its source is animal also, because you know in our stomach gastric juice is present, and in that gastric juice hydrochloric acid is present. Means we are saying here the source of hydrochloric acid is animal also, but it is known as mineral acid or inorganic acid. Why? Because it is prepared in large scale from the minerals present in the earth crust. So since it is prepared in large scale from the minerals present in the earth crust, so it is called mineral acid. Okay. Now we will see something about bases. Okay. You know what are bases? Bases also have some characteristic feature like acids. So first of all, we will define base, and like acid, it has also many definitions. So one by one we will discuss. First, those substances which are bitter in taste are called bases. Okay. Second, those substances which liberate hydroxide ion, means OH minus ion, in their aqueous solution are also called bases. Next, those substances which neutralize the effect of acids are also called bases. After that, those substances which turn red litmus paper into blue are called bases, and those substances which have the capacity to dissolve oil and grease are also called bases. So we are seeing here these are the different types of definitions which are used by the person to define bases. Okay. Now we will see about one term that is called alkali. Means you should know what is the difference between alkali and base. You know, listen. For this we can say all alkalis are bases, but all bases are not alkalis. Why? Because those bases which are soluble in water are called alkalis. But since all bases are not soluble in water, so all bases are not alkalis. So we can say all alkalis are bases, but all bases are not alkalis. Once again, what are alkalis? Those bases which are soluble in water are called alkalis, and for this we use a statement that all alkalis are bases, but all bases are not alkalis. For example, sodium hydroxide, potassium hydroxide, all are the example of bases. But we can say iron oxide, aluminum oxide, etc. These are bases. Sodium hydroxide, potassium, all are the example of alkalis, but these are bases. Means iron oxide, aluminum oxide, because they are not soluble in water. Okay, so those bases which are soluble in water are called alkalis, and since all bases are not soluble in water, so all bases are not alkalis. Okay. Now we will see something about acids once again. Okay, on the basis of concentration. You should know acids are of two types on the basis of concentration, in which one is called concentrated acid and second is called dilute acid. Now we will see what are the differences between concentrated acid and dilute acid. You should know acids, all type of acids have water, because without water acid can't show its nature. Acid can't show its acidic property without water. So the presence of water is essential to show the acidic property by any acids. Now if a solution have more concentration of acid in comparison to water, then it will be called concentrated acid. But a solution having low concentration of acid in comparison to water, then it will be called dilute acid. So on the basis of the concentration of water or acid, acids are of two types, in which one is called concentrated acid and second is called dilute acid. Okay. Once again listen, concentrated acid has more concentration of acid in comparison to water, whereas dilute acids have more concentration of water in comparison to acid. Okay, so we have seen here what are the difference between concentrated acid and dilute acid. Okay, so it is enough, and from next day just we will discuss ahead. Okay, thank you.